Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Today, we have a super amazing mind shifting mini habit that can help you really in achieving any goal that you have in your entrepreneurial life. If you want to help your subconscious get on board with your dreams and goals and really remove the mental resistance and start engaging with your imagination to support your actions, then today's episode is 100% for you. So stick around. I want to welcome you all to the Entrepreneur Expansion Show. This is the first ever gamified show that helps entrepreneurs master their subconscious mind, body, and business by implementing micro habits into their lives in a fun, supportive, action-oriented way to create more transformational impact and income. And as always, I am your host, Matt Travis, the founder of The Potential You. And if you are a service-based business owner wanting to break through a sales slump and implement our consistent 5-figure months formula, where we ethically up-level your premium offer positioning, your marketing, and your mindset, click the link in the show notes below to get your individualized game plan to generate 10K in the next 30 days. So today, I'm just so excited to dig into this. We have an amazing guest. This is Rachel Charles, and she is the owner and founder of Own Your Wings, which is really what caught my eye when I met her. I was like, man, we need to talk about this. This is so good. So she is a corporate career coach, a DEI consultant, a brand specialist and speaker, and domestic abuse survivor advocate. And she's ready to drop some knowledge on y'all today. So thank you so much for being here, Rachel. I super appreciate
Thanks.
it.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So today is really about getting people to shift their mind and ultimately, like, this is one of my favorite things to talk about because your subconscious mind is running the show. So what specific micro habit, mini habit here do you feel like is such a powerful tool to make this happen?
I thought it was really good to speak about visualization because it's one of the
Absolutely.
ones that is not always easy to do and hold on to, but it's really powerful,
Yep.
especially where you might be in the moment and it's really hard to see where you're going. So
Absolutely.
visualization, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I being a hypnotherapist and working with clients for a long time, a lot of the thing that I hear people say is um I can't visualize. That's like
Mm.
the one of the biggest things. So can you start kind of giving an idea of, like, when you say visualization, what do you mean? For those that get stuck in visualization, what is the best practice of how to make this work for them?
So it's really putting yourself in the moment and you know, like you were saying, when you might be working with other people and they say, I can't visualize it, I can't see it. It isn't always easy because if you're in a space where you've got everything else going on around you, like real life
Mm,
now, and you're being asked to, if somebody was ill and, think back to when you were well, you can't always remember it because you can only think about what's happening for you now.
yeah.
It's the same thing where if you've got your goals, your hopes, your dreams, whatever your ideas are, and real life is taking its toll. You've got all your family responsibilities, you've got what's going on for you with work, and then you're expected to picture yourself in the future of where you want to be. It isn't always easy, but the how it works to be more powerful is your brain doesn't understand the difference between what's happening now and what is being fabricated or what you tell it. So if you start visualizing where you want to be, whether it's in 6 months' time, a year's time, 5 years'
Mm,
time, and you put yourself there, your brain is going to think it's there already. So how that works and how powerful it is you start doing things, thinking things, feeling things, and your actions are going to start going in line with where your brain thinks it is.
yeah.
So rather than being stuck in the now with what's happening and how difficult it is and all the hurdles that you have to go through, when you start putting yourself there with this is where I need to be, this is where I am. And in terms of visualizing, you're thinking about, what smells down to what smells are there, what
Everything. Yeah.
sights are there, how are you feeling, who's there with you, and you're going to start thinking, okay, in order to get there, these are the things that I have to do. So when you're visualizing, you're dragging yourself into the space where you want to be, and in order to get there, you're going to start doing the things you have to do, and as I said, be the person you have to be to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Amen on that. Yeah. So it's really about being the person, doing the things, having the result, the be do have.
Mm.
And the concept Rachel's talking about right now is one of the most important things I teach clients, hands down. Like, and I don't think people really understand why this is so important. Like why visualization is so important, really why we need to really live in the wish fulfilled, live in this place of actually having the results already. And one of the things that you said that was really important, I hope everybody caught it, it's the details. It's the making sure that you are aware of what's actually happening. What are you seeing? What are you smelling? What are you tasting? What are you feeling? What are you hearing? All of the senses to really start to create this energetically, emotionally charged scene, because that's what changes the subconscious, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And one of the things as well is when you're visualizing, start looking, you're thinking, okay, in the future, 5 years time, I would like to be here. I may have wanted to written the book and I've done this and I'm now celebrating. One of the things as well when it comes to visualizing is think about who's with you, who's celebrating with you,
Yeah.
who's around you, because that's one of the things that's going to help you make some of the shifts. Because if you go back to, what do you want to have? There's things that you have to do to get the things that you want to have, and there's a kind of person you have to become in order to do those things, in order to have those things.
Yeah.
And why I link it to who's around you and who's with you is how you're spending your time now, today. Who's around you, who's influencing you, who are the people that you can latch onto in terms of, mentors, coaches, who do you need, accountability buddies, that kind of thing. If you're visualizing yourself in the future and there's people who you don't see around you, but those are the people who are here right now influencing you, you're never going to get to where
Mm.
you need to be in the future, because there may be a little bit of cleansing that needs to take place in terms
I
of,
know
who
this.
is in your ear, who's listening to you. So it's really important. Visualization is really important, because even though you're thinking of what is to come, it's going to force you to make changes now. And because when you see the discrepancy about where you want to be and where you are now, it's going to force you to make much needed changes in order to get there.
So everybody that's listening, Rachel's telling you that you may need to hit the unfriend and unfollow button on some of these people in your imagination for your life to create this new reality. And I love that. I love that you brought that up, because I think that can be one of the reasons that a lot of people have some resistance around this, because especially I know with clients I've worked with, when they have a fear of success, they're like, well, what am I going to have to give up?
Yeah.
Who am I going to have to give up? What am I going to lose? Right? Rather than a win-win scenario, they're thinking, what am I going to have to lose in order to get
Mm-hmm.
this new reality? Is there a is there a way that you find best to help their subconscious get on board with this new idea of letting go of some of the I like to think of it as a non-functional human beings in their life?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a good thing you said non-functional, because I was about to say that there's different levels of the connections that you
Totally.
have in your life, because some, even though they may not be the most positive of influences, you can't just sever the limb.
Yep.
So there's
Yep.
some like that. But it's really important to look, I call it like your circles of influence. So if you
Yeah.
imagine yourself here around us, we have like the inner circle and then we have the outer circle. And then there's other people outside of that circle as well. We really have to look at who is in the inner circle. Some
Mm.
of those people, they may be family, they may be friends, and they may not be the most positive of influences. Some of those people, in terms of, how you're relating to them, you may have to demote them to the outer circle. And
Yeah.
there's, when you look at your outer circle now, or even beyond that, and you think, there's somebody, who can help me with moving forward in my dreams. You need to promote those people to your inner circle. And I can give you an example of how this worked for me. Mine was quite drastic. So mine was literally having to cut off an undesirable. So
Yeah.
many years ago, I was in a toxic relationship. It went on for about 20 years. And when I started working on myself and looking at what do I really want in life, and realizing that the situation I was in and thinking, okay, this is not what I want for myself. I want something different. And then I discovered coaching, and it was like, okay, in order for me to be the coach I want to be to help people, I have to make certain changes in my life as well.
Mm.
When I started learning about visualization and I was looking at where do I want to be in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, the individual that I had around me was nowhere in those visualizations. I couldn't see him anywhere. And I realized that if that person stayed around me with all of the toxicity that they brought, that alone was enough. But if I had allowed that person to stay in my life, there's absolutely no way that I would have been able to move and develop and grow in the way that I needed to be to become the person I needed to. And that's where, why I say it's so important as well to look at who is around you when you're
Yeah.
celebrating. Do you need that person around you to celebrate? Because if they're there and they're holding you back now, you're also not going to do the things you have to do because you don't want that person in your future. So it's going to
Yeah.
hold you back either way. So it's really important to kind of weed out the people, the things, the places that
Totally.
are major distractions.
Yeah. I love this spin. I love kind of the direction this conversation is going in because I talk about visualization and I've heard a lot of people talk about visualization, but I think one of the things that you're emphasizing here, which I haven't heard a whole lot of people emphasize this key point, is really like who are the people that you're surrounded with, and the
Yeah.
the ones now versus the future version of yourself,
Mm.
those ones. And that can feel pretty uncomfortable for people
Yeah.
because what is currently their reality is going to obviously be different. But I think one of the interesting things that you said is like you couldn't see him in the future. Like it just
Yeah.
wasn't there. It wasn't an option. And isn't that a really interesting way of the mind like
Yeah.
subtly hinting you as to, hey, look, this is what's got to go down if you're interested,
Exactly.
if
If
you're
you want to
committed to
get
it.
there.
Yeah, if you want to get there.
Yeah.
And I really love that, and I think that's the main takeaway, folks, of this specific mini habit. The way Rachel's um, sharing it, it's so powerful that literally you're gonna go if you decide that this is the mini habit, the micro habit for you. You really what you're going to go do is, of course, jump in the group, type committed, and then you're going to start to think over the next 30 days, 14 days, however long you want to commit. Who are the people that you can see that need to be in your inner circle or the slightly outer circle that are going to get you there? There's an awesome
Yeah.
book called Who Not How, and it's really about who do you need in your life to get where you want to
Yeah.
go. I call them the Achieve Your Dreams team, and it's having this team around you that's going to actually solidify this thing that once you consciously figure out who's in this circle,
Yeah.
it's going to be way easier for your subconscious to get on board when you do these visualization techniques that we're talking about here, which I
Mm.
think is one of the biggest roadblocks for people, is
Yeah.
maybe why they can't visualize or why their mind isn't letting them do that, is because they haven't really sat down and decided these are the people that
Mm.
are going to get me to where I want to go and that are going to be a great support system or actually mentor, coach, whatever it is to get me there. And these are the people that aren't. And
Yeah.
it is okay. This is the thing when we start to judge ourselves. Oh, because some of these people are family members. I know, like some of them might be family
Yeah.
members, some of them might be relatives, some of them might be really close to you right now. But
Mm.
in your heart of hearts, they're not serving you,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And this one's big, yo. I'm excited for those that take this micro habit on, because this is the transformational stuff that actually creates your desired reality. I cannot emphasize this enough. What Rachel is telling you today can can and will change your life if you accept it, if you allow it, and you're committed to making this become your reality, and most importantly, using your imagination in the way that it was designed to do. Because if we think about this on the other side, and I would love your opinion because I always like to flip the coin over, if you do continue to try to imagine this new desired reality with these individuals that may be toxic or non-functional or unsupportive in your life, what does that mean for them if they decide they're like, no, I got to keep them in there? Like, what ends up usually happening for those folks?
Yeah, it's a big one because the thing is, if you're trying to drag those people along with you, your dream, your goals, your ideas, whatever it is that you see for your future is not really for them. And
Mm,
and I say that although it's a difficult one to kind of deal with, sometimes you also have to look at it on the flip side as well. When you're sitting there and you're talking to them about your dreams and they're saying, "Oh, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do that?" My cousins, uncles, sisters, brothers, nephew tried that and it didn't work, and all of this kind of stuff,
yeah,
and they're giving you all the reasons. Why do you want to leave your good job and do that? Why do are you sure you want to do that? Or that's not going to work, and making you feel all those kind of ways. They are projecting their fear on you, and sometimes it just means that you don't have to listen to their point of view and you don't have to share certain parts of your journey with them. So even though you might not be able to, when I am celebrating, this may not be the forum for them. And so
mm,
now, when you're in your building and your foundation stage, you don't have to share the plans of what you're doing with them because,
yeah,
number one, they don't understand it. Number two, the dream was given to you and not them. And the way that I speak to my clients and about it is, sometimes you have to realize that you're annoying them by telling them about your dreams because
yeah,
it's nowhere near in their field of whatever it is they want to do, and you're coming and you're bringing your big idea, your big dream that they have no thoughts or desires about. They don't want to hear it. So that's why, a lot
mm,
of the times, like, what's that about? I don't understand this. Why do you
yeah.
want to do that? So sometimes think of it as, you're annoying them by
I
bringing it
love
to them.
this though. I love this. This feels so much safer to the subconscious that it's going to get on board with it so
Yeah.
much faster, because it's
Yeah.
not that you don't necessarily need. I like this shift here because it's not necessarily kicking them out of your life. It might be just they're not invited to your celebration party of the
Yeah.
business
Because,
that you've created or
yeah.
the health transformation or whatever it is, right? And I love that. So it's almost compartmentalizing these
Yeah.
people into different spaces in your life.
And the thing is, whatever your dream is, a lot of the times, suppose you want to start a business, most times you're never making your business for Auntie Mary. You're making your
Yeah.
business for somebody else. It's never really for your friends and your family. So instead of looking at, and this is a big thing, when I started off coaching and when I relaunched and, I was sending out, what do you want? What are the issues that are affecting you? I thought people were going to say time and money. The
Mm,
one that really came back most was support, and I just thought, wow,
yeah,
because it's the people who are closest to them that then are not as fired up and excited about the business as them.
totally.
But with 8 billion people in the world, we need to stop looking at our friends and family and trying to drag them on board and look for the
Yeah.
other people who are in our tribe and who will support us and who are moving forward. So it's difficult because we want our friends and family to cheer us. We want them to be behind us, but it's not always going to happen because, they are your tribe, but not for your dreams a lot of the times.
Mm,
So I always say that the person that you need to really get on board. If you have a spouse and there's shared funds and all of that kind of stuff, you've got a partner, a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, however that union is, whatever that is, if there's shared funds and it's going to impact them in a certain way, that's the person that you spend time and effort to make sure, okay, we're on board because I'm doing that for us.
yeah.
Everybody outside of that, don't worry about the support or not, because there are so many other people out there who are just waiting with open hands to, oh, you're on the same journey as me, let's go. So yeah.
Awesome. I love this. So folks, this is the type of mini habit that's perfect for the community, because you come in, not only are you getting the support from me, from Rachel, and from other people that are on a similar journey to you, especially if it's this entrepreneurial journey, which is a wild ride. It's just a beautiful thing, and this is really sending out a message in a bottle to you all that are gonna watch this in the future, hear this, and know that this is what needs to be done in order to create that new desired reality. So jump in, type committed, pick the amount of days you want to figure out, you know, how many days that you want to decide who's going to be in your inner circle, who's going to be in your place. So really doing this, and then how many days you're going to actually visualize and hold on to this new
Yeah.
vibration and frequency and create this new reality. Love this. Thank you so much, Rachel. If they were to seek you out on the internet and want to just see more of what you're doing, where's the best place for them to find you? Or
I'm on
places?
LinkedIn as Rachel Charles. I'm on all
Perfect.
the other platforms as Own Your Wings. So TikTok, YouTube,
Love it.
Instagram, Facebook, you'll find me as Own Your Wings. So that's where
Perfect.
you'll find me.
Perfect. And I'll include those in the show notes, folks. If you want to connect with Rachel, she'll be in the community. You can connect with her in there. And like I say on all the episodes, we are real human beings. We want to support you. We want to help you. Don't hesitate to reach out and connect with us. Send us a message. We want to support you in this transformational journey of, starting to stack these mini micro habits to create the reality that you want. So I thank you so much. And remember, folks, like always, keep showing up, take an action, and you will get results. Have a great day.